Hey guys, Zach, welcome back to the channel. So today I have a special guitar we're going to review, and it is by Gopherwood. Now this is going to be fun for two main reasons, and that is one, this is not a brand new guitar or is it sent from the factory. This is my friend's guitar. I saw him playing it one day. I was like, yeah, it looks pretty cool. Never seen the brand or company, so would love to check it out. So he let me borrow it, so thank you for that. And number two, the other reason that's really interesting is I don't have the specs. I went online to check out the model and I could not find it. So I don't know if this is a discontinued model or if it is a prototype. Not sure, but it'll be kind of fun to blindly look at this and just kind of call things by eye and see what happens. I am no guitar guru, but I enjoy playing, and I just thought it'd be fun to walk you guys through this guitar and kind of share my experience with it, just in case if you ever came across Gopherwood. I have not seen very many videos of them on YouTube, so I thought this would be a good idea to just share some of my experience with it. So let's just kind of go from top to bottom. So obviously we have the headstock Gopherwood here. And on the back, there is a serial number and it says made in Korea. So take that for what you will. We have the headstock. We've got the Gibson style tuners lineup. The tilt is not bad at all. It's not horrible. I prefer straighter. I understand the tilt, but I prefer it to be straighter. But it is what it is. It stays in tune well. We have standard tuners here. I'm pretty sure like 18:1 standard ratio. I'm not sure what kind of nut this is. Again, I'm not a guitar guru, but I would have to say it does not feel like it's plastic. So maybe like a Graphtec. That's my assumption. This looks like a Palo Ferro or Rosewood fretboard. That's what this looks like. In terms of feel, I mean, it feels fine to the touch. I had no problems playing it. Yeah, it feels good to the touch. I gotta say it's probably Palo Ferro Rosewood. And then we have the fretwork, which is actually decent. I'd say it's on par for like an MIM Strat, right? Made a Mexico Strat, it's on par. It's not sharp or anything, but it's not like exactly 100% perfect, but it's definitely not bad at all. I would give this like an 8 out of 10 on the fretwork. We've got the fretboard markers here on the side as well, so you can kind of keep track of where you are. And then we've got a double cutaway, of course. And you know what the upper fretboard access in? Yeah, okay. We have access to the upper fretboard. And that high note is ringing. I can get to the E without it fretting out. It's got some sustain there. So that's cool. So I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's just it by itself, obviously not plugged in. Now what's interesting is this is used, so these strings aren't new. So what you're hearing is what it would sound like, I guess, on its worst day, which is kind of cool. I think it sounds pretty good acoustically. It's got some nice resonance to it, which is to be expected because it's a hollow. Nice. Feels good as far as the resonance. The guitar has a good sound to it acoustically. We got double humbucking pickups. I don't know what these pickups are, but I do know they're low output. Okay, I can tell by the sound. You probably can tell by the sound samples. These are low output humbucker pickups, so these are not hot. which would make sense. This is more of a, I would assume, more of the lower gain style. The bridge reminds me of those, I think those Gibraltar bridges, I think they're called. It reminds me of the one I had on my Epiphone. So if you're a Les Paul person, this is gonna be a very similar setup for you. It feels nice in the hand. Nothing was spiky. It's smooth. You can rub your hand back and forth and you won't get any, you know, jaggedness on your hand. No issues palm muting. I had 0 issues palm muting. Actually, I think if you listen to the audio samples in the beginning as I was soloing, I had no problem doing palm mutes and getting some nice staccato out of there. Of course, we've got the pick guard going on here. And then we have a 3-way selector switch. So we got our bass, both, and then treble. Now, the switch, I'm not a fan of the electronic on the switch. You could hear some crackling in there. So that will probably need to be upgraded. But then again, most import guitars don't have the best electronics anyway, so I guess that's not too surprising. We've got volume, volume, tone, tone. I can't remember the order, but I just remember these are volumes, these are tones. So if you have a Les Paul, of course you'll be familiar with other. And these have no split or anything like that, which I like. It's just straightforward. What you see is what you get. Of course, we have our 2 F holes. It's nice and light, speaking of which, since it's a hollow body. This is really nice and light. It's not heavy at all. I didn't weigh it because I don't have a scale, so I don't know the exact weight. But again, just going by feel and heft, it's definitely, let me see here, because I have the Strat. Yeah, so this is definitely lighter than my Strat. And this Strat can't be any more than 8 pounds, I'd imagine. So kudos, this is a very light guitar. Again, this is lighter than my Strat, and that Strat can't be more than 8 pounds. So that should kind of give you an idea of how this feels. But again, it's a hollow body, so less wood in there, so it should be a little bit lighter. What else? I have no idea if this is maple or mahogany, or I'm not a guitar guru, wish I was. But what I can tell you is that it does feel good and it does sound good. I think that it definitely has that warm characteristic, although it would have been nice to have fresh strings on here just to see how much of the warmth was coming from maybe used strings versus the tone of the guitar. But again, from what I heard, it was fine. I think the bridge pickup though, the bridge pickup was a little bit weak to me, not in the sense of low output, but weak in the sense of thin. It felt a little bit papery at times. So it's, you know, I feel like with this fresh pair of strings, it would be even brighter, even thinner. So the bridge pickup, I don't know if I would change it, because again, I couldn't find out the price of this guitar because it wasn't on their website. Now, I will say this. This seems like a made in Mexico Fender type competitor. All the prices were between 300 and like, I think 1,000 or 1,100 from what I saw. And they had Strats and Tellys of that style, S-style and T-style guitars in that, you know, 330 to 800-900 range. And then they had like a Les Paul style for about $10.99, I think. And then there was the, I guess, their Pro line, which is around $2,000 up. So I'm pretty sure this is gonna fall somewhere between $600 and $800. So again, you can expect this to be of like an MIM, a Mexico style pricing in competition. Now, I will say, it does hold tune well. It does feel fine under the fingers. Something that I didn't like though is the scratchiness with the frets. I don't know if you can hear this. So there's a scratchiness there. So I guess they could use a polish. But I didn't like the scratchiness. You could even hear it in the recording. So the fact that I can hear it recording that's too much. You know, obviously no guitar is perfect. When you get it, you have to set it up, but that's a little bit too much for me. So anyways, yeah, I think that the fret polish could use some work. I think maybe a little bit better of a bridge pickup. It's definitely usable. I mean, obviously I got good tones out of it, but it did feel a little bit weak. And then I think just the switch, I don't know why they don't put higher quality switches. I mean, they're like super cheap, so I don't understand what that's all about. Of course, I always prefer locking tuners. That's more out of laziness than anything. But I mean, for just, you know, a nice alternative for a 335 style guitar, I don't really see anything majorly wrong with this. I mean, I particularly like to buy and experiment with alternatives to like Fender and Gibson. So I think this is a worthy consideration. It would be nice to find out the specs though. I'm sorry that I don't have them. Again, I just borrowed this from a friend. Don't know anything about it, just decided to give it a try. But I will say is one nice thing about that is that I listened with my ears, felt with my hands, and just this really unbiased opinion about it. I know nothing about the guitar except for how it sounded when I played, and I give it a pass. I mean, I think if you're looking for a 335, or better yet, I think if you're interested in the Gopherwood brand, I think they're worth a consideration. They're enough. I know enough to know it's not crap. How's that? I know enough that this company is definitely not crap. They're definitely putting together something solid, and I think that it just becomes a matter of you trying one out for your own self. But I can tell you right now, this thing feels great. And he does have a couple other things I want to review. I think he's got a Telly and a Strat, so I want to borrow those from him and do some reviews on those and see how those come out. But if they're anything like this, then I think they will be a good alternative to the classic offerings that are going on with the major brands. So anyways, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on Gopherwood guitars. If you have any experience with them, if you've heard of them before, whatever you know, drop the comment down below and let me know if there's any other facts that you want to know about this brand. I will try and do my research and find out. But until then, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.